How about we start there, Lexi? When did you get into real estate? What was that like? What prompted you to get into the business?
So I started to become a real estate agent because I was a military spouse and we moved to Hawaii and we had an absolutely horrible time moving here. I bought a home sight unseen, so I bought it through FaceTime. And when we got here, within a month, every single major appliance broke down, like our air conditioner, every appliance. Um, and our move was horrible. So I really invested myself in the military community and became like any kind of sponsor and person that was involved in helping people move here. And within that, people kept being like, "Well, do you know an agent?" And I was like, I could do that. So I became an agent focused on, helping people move here that were in my shoes that have to buy like sight unseen. So that's how I got into real estate. And I've been in it for just over 3 years now.
So you found a specific niche that had a problem, and it was probably a pretty common problem.
Hmm.
And so you basically said to yourself, I want to solve that, and you full on went through it. Was it any plan of yours before y'all actually moved to get into real estate, or did this really just come from your experience?
Just my experience. And like I said, people kept asking and I didn't have the greatest experience with mine here. Anyways, I've my first house I actually bought at 21 and my parents flipped houses growing up. So I was very familiar with like the process and had been through it several times. And I was like, no, man, like that would be easy for me to do. Definitely not easy by any means, but yeah, that's how I got into it. Just like there was a big need for it, and I was in contact with so many people that don't have a choice. They're moving here, so they have three options: live on base, rent, or buy a home. So, I felt like my odds were going to be pretty good to be able to help a lot of people.
How long after you got into real estate did you join the program? I can't really
I
remember.
actually joined the program like a month before I got my license.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I
So started
Yeah.
early.
So I did a lot of research online on YouTube and I found you and I actually reached out to you and talked to you about EXP and kind of I had like a call with you, about EXP and about, what you were doing because I really liked, everything you were putting out online. So that's how I found you. And yeah.
Okay. So you got in before you actually were licensed, and which I typically don't recommend people to do because it can be overwhelming when you're getting all this information and can't really act on it. But as a new licensee, did you have that overwhelming feeling coming into the business and kind of like you didn't know what direction to go, or were you set on like, hey, I already know what I'm doing, I just need to figure out how to do it?
No, so I think actually joining your program right before was very helpful because everything was like step by step process. And I actually read your book too beforehand. And then while I was waiting for my license to be activated, I created a brand for myself. So I got all of like my marketing done. I decided I was going to make, Facebook groups. And so I put a whole bunch of information. So I used that time where I wasn't actively licensed to do all of the background work of, creating the house from a military spouse and getting my logo done and getting processes and systems so that like when that sucker came in, I was ready just to like hit the ground running.
I love that. And you brought up the Facebook group, and that's a pretty powerful lead source for you. Is that where all of your leads come from, or majority of your leads? How does that break
Yeah,
down?
I would say well, originally 100% of my leads would come from there. Now I get a lot of referrals from past clients as well, but I mean everything that's not a past referral from some or a referral from someone that I've already worked with is 100% from this group.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Facebook groups, did you know how to run and do the whole Facebook group thing prior to using it for your real estate business?
No. So the only kind of social media training I ever had was I ran for doctors' offices, like their Instagram and Facebook, like, their business pages and stuff like that, but nothing like an actual group that was very interactive. So I winged it and was like, what would I want in a group, and what does everyone else have in their group that I don't like that I can avoid? And I kind of just went from there and figured it out.
Yeah, and Facebook groups, they're a really good lead source. I know most people think about ads and flyers and this and that, things that cost money, but a Facebook group is actually free to start. The hardest thing that I find with Facebook groups is creating that engagement and getting that group filled with people and all of that. So maybe if you want to spend a little time, break down for us like that journey starting this Facebook group.
Yeah, so and I can probably share my screen too if you'll, well, if I can do that, and I can show too kind of like the process of what it looks like if that's easier.
Yeah. All right, can we give her screen sharing permissions, please? Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Okay, and I can't see. Is that showing you guys?
Yeah. If you want to make the
Okay,
window bigger
yeah,
though, so you
that's
can.
bigger. Okay, so this is my Facebook group. Basically, again, it's very focused on military. So I wanted to take all of the resources that I learned of moving here and put it in a group. So what I did beforehand is I put files um, and made, you know, different areas. So like right here, I made it so that people could see houses. I had friends that lived on base film their houses for me, put full information in the group before I even started adding people. So the first thing I did was I added like my friends and the connections I made through, becoming a sponsor in the military, and made the group really full. And then at that point, I had everybody I knew just add military spouses and add, people in the community. So you could do this the same way with, if you have a sport group or, a community group, whatever, same concept with any kind of group possible. You want to provide value and information and make it not spammy. So that was my biggest thing, is creating some way I could capture everyone's information. I could provide value to them so they'd want to join the group. And then when they got in the group, it would have a whole bunch of resources in one place. So I've definitely trial and error changed things up from it. But I mean, as you can see now, like I have, I think, almost 4,000 members in the group. My biggest thing is when people request to join, and y'all don't take my leads here, but so like you can see this morning, this person joined 2 hours ago. They're arriving in May of 2023. They give me their information and they want to purchase a home. So from at that point, um, I have an assistant go and input their information, and then they are added to a workflow over here of useful information. So if they don't respond to the emails, I've, made contact with them at least 8 times and provide the information to move here. So I don't make it just about real estate. It's like, congratulations to coming to Hawaii. This is how you ship your household goods. This is how you get a hotel for in between before you find a place to live. This is how you ship your car here. This is how you get your pets here. And I've broken it up into segments. So again, I'm doing constant contact with each member so that they're seeing my info. So even if they don't buy a home and they end up living on base, I become that name in the back of someone's mind that when someone comes here or they know someone that comes here, that they're going to, use me or send them to my group, because it's been super helpful. But yeah, I mean, I have it just set up now at this point where, I mean, you can see everyone gives me their information with no issues. Right here, 5 hours ago, another purchased home, um, you know, And the people that say they want to live on base, we message everybody too, just saying, welcome to the group. Why do you want to live on base? Why do you want to rent? And we convert them or try to convert them to buying as well. And a lot of the time we'll message these people, and if you run the numbers with them and the process of how it goes, they're like, oh, I didn't even think buying would be an option for me, especially when they can utilize the VA loan. And it's been really easy to convert people. But yeah, just make your group very valuable, provide value, and maintain rules. I don't let any other real estate professional in here at all. So unless they're on my team, there's not another realtor, another insurance person, a lender, anything in my group, because I don't know if you guys have been in, community groups and someone says, oh, I'm looking for a realtor, and it's like 5,000 people post on it. I don't want that. I allow people to recommend their other realtors, but I don't want other realtors, you know what I mean, on that post and trying to get to that person. So it's just a lot of monitoring, engagement posts. So let's see if I can find, I'll get back here. So I do a lot of engagement stuff too. So I'll do like reviews. So I'll post like reviews for areas. So I'll ask everybody to drop a review of the hotel that they stayed at. You can see like everybody comments. So super interactive. I'll do contests within the group where I'll be like, hey, I'll give $100 Amazon gift card to one person that comments on this post. I'll draw the name on this day, provide me a tour of your base house, or, something that you like about Hawaii, or whatever it is. So you just got to post a lot of things in the group to make it interactive, and you want to comment on everyone's stuff, respond. If you can't do that, I have assistants that do it for me. So they go and they make sure they're interacting with everything. If someone asks a question and nobody responds, they're making sure that they get the answer for everybody.
So these people at this point are pretty much organically coming into the group, right? Yeah. So for instance, they'll search what, move to Hawaii, or
yeah, well, so the
find
term for military moving here is PCSing. So I
okay.
made my group name PCSing Hawaii so that it would track specifically, right, the target audience I'm looking for.
Gotcha. And so what would you say that time frame is from like when someone gets into the group to when you're working with them, to when you're actually having a meeting
So
or contract?
they typically get orders in about 6 months in advance. So that's typically when they join the group. And then I start working with them at that point. So at that point, I give them access to the Hawaii MLS, and I usually have them talk to a lender. And we don't do it's more like a pre-qualification at that point. And we talk about, if there's anything they need to fix or do. And then 90 days out is when we say, okay, we can actively look for homes. Most of my clients actually buy through FaceTime with me. So I physically go and show the house through FaceTime with them. Yeah, I would say 90% of my clients have all bought sight unseen with me. So yeah, it's a pretty dialed like process. But I have to be super
Phenomenal.
thorough and just so yeah, lots of information to them. So
Yeah. So what is that process like, getting them on that call, like on that first initial call? Is that part of your campaign that's like, schedule a call with me, or do you just automatically call whoever joins?
So when someone joins, they get signed up automatically on 2 different workflows depending on what they answer. And then they get like the generic moving here. And then I message them on Facebook as well, just saying, hey, I'm the admin to this group. Like, congratulations on getting your orders here. Like, do you have any specific questions? And 99% of the time, they're like, how the hell do I get my dog here? Or how do I do this? And so, yeah, I provide value. And then I'm like, hey, you said you wanted to buy a house. Like, what are you looking for? What? And then they offer that information. Cause again, it's the specific group I have. We don't have an option. We're moving here. Right. So it's a lot of information gathering and finding out what they're looking for. areas they need to live in, it's a lot of more work, I think, compared to just like a regular client because they're not going to be here in person. So I have to gather a ton of information. And then I'm very thorough. So I'll go look at a house sometimes 2 to 3 times at different times of the day to show them the neighborhood, show them what's happening at night. Um, you know what I mean? So because I want them to sell the house when they leave in 3 years. So that's the other thing. Turnaround is I know they have to leave within 3 to 4 years. So I want them to sell that home with me. So I do a really good job getting them in that home, making their experience amazing. And then once they're here, I follow up monthly with them. I drop gifts off. I have client events, just constant contact with them. So I'm at my 3 year and already like this whole like summer, I've got several people being like, all right, we're moving. Let's list our house with you. And so now it's that turnaround process where I'm going to get into the more of the listing where I've been more of a buyer's agent the last 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. Something that I heard you mention before, because typically they have two options, right? They can live on base or they can live off base, I guess. So
Mhm.
is it a part of your process to, I don't know, share the advantages or disadvantages of this versus that in order to get them to be your client?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So obviously I provide to them like what I bring to them in value. I'm like, I'm not just a realtor. I am someone who's done this move that can help you move here. So I provide that personal connection. And then also, so the military gives the lowest ranking member $100,000 in a 3 year period to live here, tax free money that they just give you for living allowance. And if you live on base, they take 100% of that. So regardless if your mortgage or regardless of what size your family is, what rank it is, they take every single penny. But if you live off base, say you get $3,000 a month from the military, if you find something, that's $2,000 a month, you get to bank that extra. So I talk about, you're giving back to yourself. And even if the market goes to shit, you've just paid $100,000 of the government's money that, you know what I mean? You can either get a little bit back or you've just bought a $500,000 house. Uncle Sam's going to really like you when you go buy that forever home. It's going to look really good that you just had a mortgage on a, 500,000, $1 million home for 3 years. It helps their credit too. So it's just providing that. I mean, yeah, you can go have all that taken, but why not use that towards, your own benefit?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
When it comes to your actual group, because yeah, you got to keep that group engaged. You got to keep fresh stuff going in there. Two questions with this. How much time do you spend on that group per day? And then second, how do you continue to come up with like fresh content to put in there?
So, I mean, the military is constantly, changing and putting out information because I've put myself in the position in my community by volunteering and, being, they call it a key spouse and a sponsor. So I am directly in with policy procedures, um, in my community. Any information I get gets put into the group. Before, I mean, it was like a full-time job, like having that group, but now I have two assistants that work at least 20 hours a week, just maintaining it, putting information in it, and, engaging with people. So it is a constant, going, but I mean, my engagement is amazing in the group and, you know, the opportunity. Like last year, I had so much volume in it that I couldn't even answer to everybody. I gave coworkers people from it because I couldn't
Wow.
handle. Yeah.
Wow. So like on an average week, how many new leads do you think you get? And by lead, I mean it's someone putting in their name, email address, phone, whatever they ask you or whatever you ask.
Um, so I don't know about weekly, but monthly, it's probably around 2 to 300 people we have, and we don't approve everybody coming in either, though. We're very like, if anyone even seems like a drama person, or I know that's really bad, but like I have them stalk their profiles, like they full blown look at see what kind of stuff they post, the interactions, and if they look like someone that is that hater that goes and talks crap on people's posts. They just automatically get denied. We don't even let them in. So
Wow, so
yeah.
there's even a little vetting. So you got 2 to 300 coming in a month, and would you say that you probably convert what 90% of them? You said 90 or 80 actually end up working with you, maybe?
So probably not that high. Honestly, I would probably say about 40% of them actually end up buying because there are other circumstances obviously that go into play, right? Of, everyone's not qualified to buy a home. Um, but I mean, that's pretty high, right? When you have that
Yeah.
amount of people coming in. So, yeah. I mean, my
Yeah.
first year of real estate, I made six figures because of it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I mean, it's continuously rolling like that's something that can continue to go on and on and on. And I know that obviously guys, Lexi's talking about military families, but this can be duplicated in any type of niche if you target it, right? Like the advantage that I see that I know that works across the board is that she has a specific targeted niche slash offer, right? And so she could easily try to be like, oh, buyers to Hawaii, buyers in Hawaii, but I promise you her conversion would go way down and that growth would go way down. But since she's super targeted to a specific niche, let's just say you're targeting new construction in Katy, Texas, like that's even a niche, or you're targeting the healthcare field, or you're targeting a certain religious niche that you're in and you're very familiar with and you know what the people, but nonetheless at the end of the day it's a solid niche, right? And she's not trying to go after everybody for this group. And since it's a targeted niche, she's gone from 0 to 4,000 in the short time that she's had that group, which is extremely difficult for most people to do, right? And so that's the magic of what she's doing and how you can do it in your market or to whatever you're doing, in addition to providing all that valuable information and that content. I mean, you're closing, I mean, you're closing volume from that group, which is amazing, even to the point that you are referring stuff out. And I'm just curious for myself on this. Do you get referral agreements signed? Like, do you refer in exchange for a percentage when they close
oh
that?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
See
Yeah, I
that?
do it for a regular referral. Yeah.
Yeah. So look at now. So she has the group leads, her actual past clients referring deals, and the group leads that she doesn't want to work or doesn't have the capacity to work, and she's referring that out to other agents. So she's still getting a referral fee from literally on that front end, putting in those hours for this group and maintaining it. And now you've expanded, you have assistants, so you're scaling it, and it is running a full real estate business.